Sherman Oaks. It is so good to be back with you again. The Iranian American community, dedicated to a free, democratic, and non-nuclear Iran. That's why I joined with my colleague Tom McClintock, who I know spoke earlier here today, and over 160 members of Congress in reintroducing our resolution condemning the regime's horrific human rights abuses. As the chief Democratic sponsor of House Resolution 100, I'm pleased that it expresses our support for the Iranian people's desire for a democratic, secular, and non-nuclear Republic of Iran, and condemns the violations of human rights and the state-sponsored terrorism of the Iranian regime. And you know, I've been in Congress for 27 years. I've been a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee for 27 years, where I am the most senior Democrat, and I have been fighting on these issues with you for 27 years. I join you today as the Iranian people suffer from an illegitimate regime. We saw the brutal murder of Mahsa Amini, as well as the murder of those who protested her murder, including not only teenagers, but even children. Tens of thousands have been arrested. Some have been sentenced to death. The regime's legacy of murdering dissidents is nothing new. We saw it when they took power. We saw it in 1988. We see it today. And now we see the morality police. Again, as a 16-year-old, Argmita Garavad, who supposedly wasn't wearing clothing just right, she's now left in a coma after being attacked by officers, possibly brain dead, little likelihood of recovery. Beyond clamping down on women's hair coverings and clothing, the regime is continuing to trample free speech. The Iranian rapper Tumaj Salehi, who was previously detained for seeming to support anti-government protests, was released on bail and then arrested again. But the regime's violence will not undermine the resolve of the Iranian people to continue demanding their freedom and basic human dignity. And Congress stands with the Iranian people. The American people stand with the Iranian people. I voted for the No Funds for Iranian Terrorism Act. It was outrageous. Iran seizes American hostages and then seeks an advantage. In this case, the movement of $6 billion from South Korea to Qatar. There should be no advantages to seizing American hostages, and if God forbid Iran gets an advantage, the government gets an advantage by seizing an American hostage, after those hostages are released, we should try to take away the advantage they got. This is not a legitimate deal when Americans are held hostage. And anytime there's a kidnapping and you have a chance to recover the ransom, recover the ransom. It's not like the kidnapper has a legitimate right to the ransom. This is a regime that finances terrorism around the world. Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthi, and those are just the groups that begin with the letter H. We could go through the whole alphabet. We saw the brutal attack of Hamas on Israel. We see the terrorist attacks from Hezbollah into northern Israel. We see the terrorism of the Iranian regime inside the sovereign Republic of Albania, where they attack people just for the views that they hold. And we see the attacks of this regime trying to kill American troops in Syria and Iraq, where they are helping defend America from the reestablishment of ISIS. I share your dream of a free Iran, an Iran where people can make their voices heard, where they're not threatened by terrorism, imprisonment, torture, rape, and execution. An Iran where women are free to decide how they dress and people are free to share their government. An Iran where Mahsa Amini and countless women like her would be alive today. That's why for decades we have worked together to replace this brutal regime. As the Iranian people continue to courageously fight for freedom, the American people need to be there. The American Congress needs to be there. And we need to pass Resolution 100. I will continue to work with you until we achieve democracy and freedom for the Iranian people. I'm Congressman Brad Sherman. Thank you very much.